On May 20th, in this room, we are going to have the Town Circle to Circle Committee. They are seeking input on their master plan for the South Island area relative to a variety of different things, but I think for the folks here, certainly the Sea Pine Circle, traffic, infrastructure, and issues related to that are open. They're interested in your input, and we will be hosting that here for Sea Pines residents and owners. So we encourage you to come and give them your input. I think we'll have probably the committee's got about 10 or 12 people on it, and the vast majority of those folks will be here to listen to you. I've already mentioned the Q&A format at the end. If anybody does have an issue being able to approach the microphone, we'll certainly take it to you. But if we could hold the questions till the end. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Toby, and he's going to give everybody a security update.
Good morning. We're going to set up a makeup station back over here, so those of you who want to be on camera, we can kind of freshen you up a bit. Just a quick update, kind of let you know what's taking place in the community. The Heritage, I will say this year's Heritage, very busy. I think still waiting to hear the ticket sales for the tournament, but I think they did quite well in ticket sales this year. The trolley system that we put into play this year apparently was a big hit, because during the week of the Heritage, 10,000 people rode the trolley. We are going to make some changes in next year's schedule. We had a couple of stops that I think we picked up 2 people at. So we're going to make some changes of where we're actually picking people up. We're going to add some additional stops in some other locations. But apparently the trolley was a big hit, and a lot of people use it, which is what we really wanted to see. And I think from the community standpoint, at least from my standpoint, because I moved in to Sea Pines the Sunday before the tournament, and I left that following Tuesday. I think it was a different community this year during the tournament than it has been in the past. I think it was a little easier to drive around the community. I will tell you from a player and caddy standpoint that I talked to, those who have been coming to the tournament for a while noticed the difference in the traffic of getting into the community. We do have some work to do as far as getting people bussed in here. I think that's a good problem to have. I think that the tournament realized they had a big turnout this year. The old saying, be careful what you ask for. I think Jordan Spieth, winning the Masters, coming here, sold a lot of tickets for the tournament. Those of you who had the opportunity to come out and saw him play, I think there at one point we thought 15,000 people were literally following his group and Matt Kuchar's group throughout the round. So it was a huge turnout, big success. We had 1 arrest. I guess our biggest problem, we had more medical calls this year than I ever remembered in the last 13 tournaments that I've worked. We had, normally during Monday and Wednesday during the Pro-Am, that's when we have more spectators get hit by golf balls, but we actually had someone that was hit during the regular professional round that had to be transported. But we had a lot of medical calls this year. A lot of it was unfortunate, people falling out of stands, rolling ankles. So we had a lot of medical stuff. And I guess if someone asked me if you had to rate the tournament, what was the biggest problem, I would venture to say that the same as the past. It's alcohol consumption seems to be our biggest. Imagine that. Actually, Jerry Kelly, I was in the player locker room, and Jerry Kelly asked me, he said, do you guys give beer away? I'm like, no. Why would you ask? He goes, man, I've never seen so many drunk people. I'm like, no, this is probably the most expensive beer you ever purchased. But Heritage is a great success, and thank you guys for riding the bicycles and the trolley. Just a quick update on Tower Beach. The season is upon us. We asked the rules and regulations for Tower Beach. It's property owner decals and relative decals is the only vehicles that's allowed to park inside of Tower Beach. The plan is the first week of June we're going to have a security attendant at Tower Beach checking vehicles getting in. We do realize right now we have some daily passes. There was one there this morning, a vehicle there with a daily pass that's not supposed to be in the lot. We're going to set up security that will run through the end of August. At the end of the August, the gate arms go down. So I'm hope by the end of August, August 17th to be exact, that you have made your plans to get into a CSA to pick up your new decals as well as your new property owner ID card, both of which will open up those arms. So if you happen to be in the daughter's car, you can hold up your ID card just basically to the windshield, and it's going to operate the arm at Tower Beach, or the decal on your vehicle will also open that up. So 1st of June, we'll put a tenant in place, and we'll try to control that. There's, David, how many spots we have there? 88? 80 spots. So not everybody in the community gets to park at Tower Beach, but we're going to try to control that to make sure that it's just the people who are parking there are supposed to be there. We are on our 5th month of burglaries. We had one last weekend at Twin Oaks. We have a big problem right now of forcible entries into villas. There's not been any standalone homes that's been broken into over the last 5 months. These are villas that are currently being hit, and they're pretty much stealing just about everything inside. Wall mirrors, TVs, couches, arm table. I mean, it's literally, they're completely cleaning these units out. We are asking the community, and we've sent out emails, it's on the website, that if you see anyone, especially in a villa complex, if you live in a villa complex, if you see anyone moving, call security. We don't care if it's the new couple that's moving in from Ohio, and we'll get to meet them. We want to see anything that anyone is moving anything, we want to know about it. We don't know if it's happening in the nighttime, which I would find it hard to believe. I think this is taking place during the day. The units that have been hit some are rental. So over these time frames, it's a month. The people show up that own the unit, have been gone for a month, haven't been here in a month, and realize the place has been broken into. What we have is it's a high rental community. People that are there think it's just someone moving in or moving out, and we're not getting the calls. But if you live in a villa complex, you see any of the activity of moving trucks coming in or whatever, please call us and let us run that down. We have some leads that we're working with the sheriff's office. Those have not developed into an arrest. Although last week we did make an arrest on one of the T streets. We had a gentleman that was released from Beaufort County Jail 7 days ago, rode his bicycle, came in off the beach access, and actually was in the process of breaking into one of the contractor's vehicles. That gentleman held him down until we got there. He has since been arrested and is in jail. I think it's a $30,000 bond. They're probably going to revoke because he just got out of jail. I think he did was a 6-year term, so he's probably going to go back. This is not the individual that's breaking into the villas. Completely different. Just happened to wander in off the beach and decided to break into one of the contractor's cars. So we did have an arrest in that, and that gentleman is good news that he's still in jail. Last thing that I have, we sent out a notice from the National Hurricane Center. There is a tropical storm down off the southeast coast. I ask you please to monitor that. As of 8:30 this morning, they're anticipating that could strengthen. So we ask that please keep an eye on that. That would affect the area, our area, this coming weekend. And with that, decals are going very good. You do have the ability to go online to fill out the form online. If you do, it really cuts down your wait, but even if you don't want to fill out it online, you come in, it literally takes you roughly 10 minutes to get your new decals and a new property owner ID card. And I've been asked, if your property owner ID card is not due to expire, you don't have to get it replaced. But by chance, if you want to use the bicycle gates, which the new bicycle gates are in the process of being completed now, they're brand new. They're going to work off of RFID. So if you ride your bicycle out the gate, you can take your ID card. It's going to open up the gate. It'll also open up Tower Beach. So while you're there getting the decals for your vehicle, you may as well get you a new property owner ID card that has the RFID embedded in it. Won't take very long at all. We'll take your picture. We promise not to publicize the pictures. But please get that done. And August 17th is the cutoff date for that. Okay, that's all I have. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Toby. I'd like to introduce Jennifer Loesch. Jennifer joined us last summer. She is our communications director, and she's going to give everybody an update on two things. One, the website and the usage of that, as well as our new survey that's coming up later this year, and our effort to find out more about our owners and who they are and what their interests are. Jennifer?
Thank you, Brett. I really hate it when I have to follow Toby because it's our own internal version of Law and Order here, and it's always very exciting to hear about those things, and then we have to talk about communications, so that's kind of boring. But the first thing that we wanted to do is just review the website with you all and make sure everybody knows where to go and how to log into our website and how to access the information that you're looking for. Between Tracy and I, Tracy handles, she's our IT manager, and I'm in charge of communications. Between the two of us, we're probably fielding at least 10 phone calls a day from owners who don't know how to log in or forgot their password or don't know if they're registered to log in. And so we want to try to help everybody learn how to do that because it's going to be really important when the survey comes this summer that we have your email and your information. So Tracy is going to take us to seapinesliving.com, which is our website. And at the top right corner, you're going to see the blue box that says For Owners Log In, and this will take you to a page that gives you two options. If you've already registered and you have a login and you have a username and a password, you're going to click the top option that says Log In with your existing account. You all set up your username and password, so hopefully you remember what that is. We encourage people to use your email address as your username because you're less likely to forget it, but you will put your username and your password there and log in. When you log in, you will be on the members area page. Are you okay?
Yeah, I forgot my password.
See, it happens. My goal for the members page, just so you all know why this is an important page, is this is sort of like the daily newspaper for Sea Pines. That's how I look at it. It's a very brief snapshot of everything that's the latest and greatest that's going on at CSA that we think you need to know about. So I would look here first to find what you're looking for. You can see at the top there's breaking news. That's a security alert from Toby about the break-ins. There's a notification about the Circle to Circle meeting that Brett spoke of that's coming up, and if you click on the link there that says click here for updates, there's information about what is Circle to Circle, when is their next meeting, what is the agenda of the meeting, what are they trying to accomplish, and a lot of good information on this page about Circle to Circle. If you want to go back, Tracy. There's a link here somewhere for the property owner decal. So if you haven't done your renewal yet, you can link out and fill out the form. That way the girls in security administration have all of your paperwork ready for you when you come into the office, and it hopefully lessens your wait time. This information on the landing page will update, weekly or biweekly or whatever's necessary to keep you fully informed of what's going on. So hopefully whatever you're looking for is going to be on this page, or you'll be able to link to it on this page. If that's not the case, then you come to the member landing page and you can't find what you're looking for, then the next best place to go is at the top where it says search. That's an internal search engine. If you're looking for Circle to Circle information, for example, you just type in a couple of words, and it will list all of the pages on our website that have information about Circle to Circle, and you can click on one of those and navigate to that page. If that's not the one you were looking for, you can use your back bar and go back and try one of the other pages. That's the next best way to find what you're looking for. The other option is we have something called an A to Z page directory at the top there. And this is the pages on our website listed alphabetically, or most of them, and hopefully you can find what you're looking for in there. So those are the primary ways for you to access information that you're looking for on our website. Let's go back and log out, Tracy, and show people what to do if they don't have their password or if they're not a registered user.
This is the biggest question that I get when people call. Right now, you're seeing the entire login box because we have such a large long-term resolution set a certain way. This button down here disappears for people all the time because your resolution is set so high that it blows up the entire screen. The problem is somebody might be using a phone, somebody's using an iPad, somebody's using another tablet, somebody's using a desktop, somebody's using an Apple, an iMac. So it's hard to make the page work for everybody. So just know if you come here to register and you don't see the words register, you need to change your resolution or look for a bar on the side to be able to view that. then once you register,
Yeah, if you go back to the landing page too, there's also another option there that says if you're an existing user, log in, and then it says new users register here. So you're just going to give us your information. Like I said, I recommend using your email address for your username and then filling all of that out, and then you'll be registered to log in and access information on the website. Again, it's really important that we have everyone's email because we are going to be doing a property owner survey this summer to collect feedback from you all, and we need your email addresses because that's our primary way to reach out to everyone. So whether you do it by registering here or whether you contact myself or Tracy, please make sure that we do have your up-to-date email address on file at CSA. There's one other thing, Tracy, if you want to navigate back to the Sea Pines Living site. Under the contacts, we have added a property owner comments and feedback form. Whoops, one up. This is the second one. There you go. We put this on there because oftentimes different people within the CSA management team will get emails about various issues. Sometimes it's just, how do I find the mailbox form to order a new mailbox, things like that. But sometimes it's just questions that you have about operational issues or comments or feedback that you have about things that we're working on. And we're very interested in getting your feedback. So we've developed this form so that at any time you leave a meeting, you have a question for someone, you can just go to the website and fill out this form, and we will make sure that it gets routed to the proper person so that your questions can be addressed. So that's there as a service to you all. Please use it. If you have questions or you need information, please contact us through the contact form on the website, and that will help us to manage your requests and get back to you in a timely manner. That's it for the website tutorial this morning. Hopefully that was helpful. Question?
You forgot your password. Is there a utility to either reset the password or to find out what the password is?
Sorry, we meant to go through that. So, lost your password is there at the very bottom of both options. And then,
and I can reset passwords. I can't see a password though, so if you call and say, I don't remember it, what is it? I can't tell you, but I can reset it for you.
the next thing that I wanted to talk to you about today, and this is very exciting because it gives us a new communication tool and a new way to find out what our property owner interests are and preferences are, and that is we are in the process of developing a property owner database that will house custom owner profiles that you will put together for us, and it will also collect information in our annual property owner survey that we will be sending out late summer, early fall. And what this property owner profile is going to do is it's something that you're going to create. We will put information in there that we already have about you, who are you, who lives at your residence, what your address is. And then what we'd like to know is what your interests are, what your hobbies are. Do you golf? Do you use the beach? Do you use the bike trails? Do you like to use the forest preserve? Are you interested in traffic-related issues, or are you interested in hearing about clubs? Are you a member of any clubs? Are you a member of the country club? Because the more that we can understand about our property owners and how you all use Sea Pines, why you moved here, what amenities you take advantage of, what amenities we don't have that you'd like to see us have, that gives us information that we can better manage the community because we understand what your needs are. So it's going to be really important for us moving forward as a planning and management tool to have this information, and it will be up to you to fill out this information and give it to us. The questions for the property owner profile will also be included in the survey. So it's just one invitation that you'll receive that you will fill out both your profile information and and answer the survey questions. Our primary goals for the survey, there's two of them. The first goal is to really just find out from CSA's perspective, are you aware of all the services that we offer? Because we hear quite frequently, gee, I didn't know that you did wildlife management and that if I have a raccoon in my garage, I can call somebody and get it removed. Or, You know, their security has a lot of great services if you're going to be out of town or on vacation and you want somebody to come by and do a daily check of your property and just kind of check the doors and windows and make sure your property is safe and secure. That's a free service provided by security. So there's a lot of services that are being provided by the CSA staff for your benefit that property owners are unaware of. So we want to find out if you are aware of all the services that we offer, if you use those services, and if you are satisfied with those services. So that's one of our primary goals. The second goal is we want to measure your interest in the long-range strategic plan initiatives that have been proposed. So we are looking at different things from improving our community center and offering additional programs, educational programs and different classes at the community center, potentially building a bigger community center. We're looking at changing our gate access to improve traffic flow, and we're looking at improving our trail systems, expanding our trail systems, improving the surface of them. We're looking at putting in new facilities and amenities at the Forest Preserve and possibly other property amenities. So we really need to know from you what's important to you, what would you all like to see us working on and focusing on, what do you think is a priority. So the survey is going to give us a lot of this really important information that we need to understand your needs, your priorities, your preferences, things like that. And it will also help me understand how you like to be communicated with. I don't really know how many people are using the website. I do know that we've had 12,000 visitors to our website since January 1st. Roughly 4,500 of them have been unique one-time visitors. So it looks like a lot of people are using the website. I'd like to know what areas you're using it for, and if you're using our emails, if you're getting our emails, if you're relying on the newsletter, things like that. So really just helping us gather information that will allow us to do a better job at CSA. That's our goal. And if you have any questions about the survey program, you can reach out to me at the CSA office. The timing for all of this is we've already started the database development. We started that last month. That's going to take a couple, 2-3 months to do. Then we're going to start doing the survey question development, and then we're going to test all of this over the summer. You're going to start seeing announcements about this coming up. There's going to be an article in our summer newsletter that comes out in June. You're going to be getting a postcard. You're going to be getting multiple emails from us. Again, emphasizing the importance of us having your email address, and you may even get a phone call from us reminding us. So the original invitation for you to come and fill out your profile and take the survey is going to come by email. So again, I cannot emphasize enough how important it is for us to have your current email address. And this is an exciting program. We're excited to have this information and be able to learn more about our property owners. And as I said, if you have any questions about this program, please contact me. And thanks for coming, everyone. Sorry, sometimes I do talk about the events, and we don't really have that many events in May. But tonight, we do have the Artists of Sea Pines reception right here at the community center. Rosemary, I don't know if you want to speak about that. It's from 5 to 7, and wine and hors d'oeuvres are served, and you can... Right, you can browse all the amazing artwork and purchase any of the art that is displayed this evening. It's a great community event, and 1% of the proceeds go to benefit the Forest Preserve Foundation, so it's for a really good cause, and we'd like to see you all show up for that tonight. The other really important thing in May is this Circle to Circle committee meeting, and if you're not familiar with that, that's why we demonstrated that. Go to the website, search Circle to Circle, and read up on that. This is all about the future planning for the new Sea Pines Circle district. They're going to be creating a master plan for how traffic will flow in and around the circle, and I know that that's something that our property owners are very interested in, and if you want to voice your concerns, you want to have an opinion in how that new traffic plan is created, you need to show up and attend these meetings. Their meetings are held all over the Hilton Head community, but the May 20th meeting that's coming up at 10 a.m. here at our community center is, it is going to be here at Sea Pines, and I don't know when we will have another one here inside our community, so I would encourage all of you to attend that meeting on May 20th. Thank you.
Don't go far. Okay. Thank you, everybody. Thanks, Jennifer. Questions, again, if you could come up front and speak to the microphone so we can record the question for the folks that are not here. Yes, sir. Come on up. Whoever has a question, come on up.
You made a comment, I believe Toby made a comment on they're changing the bicycle entrances. will that mean that there will no longer be a code that you will have to flash your pass to get in, or will it be a combination that you can use a code, or if you forgot it, you can then use your card?
Toby, I'll let you address the.
Yes, you have several options. We're still going to have the keypad, which is currently being installed. You can use your,
if you would, speak into the microphone.
you can use your property owner ID card. That will also open the gates as well. The gate staff will also have a remote. So if you have a property owner ID card, an old one or whatever, we can control it from the gates as well. So all that new RFID technology is being transferred to the gates, bicycle gates as well.
I had a second part on something unrelated. Is there a particular reason why all the tennis courts now are still not functional after we tried to make a reservation yesterday, and a lot of them are closed. They haven't been restored since the Heritage because they use them for parking and trucks.
I don't know the answer to that. Oh, good, Terry.
Good morning. Yes, the tennis courts were used for the tournament, and after the tournament, and it happens every year, CBS's compound has expanded a little bit, and so the use of the tennis courts is very similar to the amount of courts we used this year as it was last year. But right as the tournament ends, we bring in Howard B. Jones, which is the tennis court contractor, to give us a price to refurbish all the courts that have been utilized during the tournament. And then we have to put new clay on them, up and lift them up, put new lines on them, and so forth. So that process takes about 2 weeks to do that. They just started this past Monday. We have an event with the Tennis Channel coming in that's featuring Stan Smith on May the 11th. So we're working really hard to try to get those courts turned around and back into play as quick as we can in order to make the May 11. But every year it takes about 2 to 3 weeks to get those courts turned around from the tournament and back into play. We understand, we apologize, but there's really no way around it. The amount of weather that we had during the RBC Heritage this year caused some additional damage, not as much as we had last year. But so it does take a lot of work, and we do have a contractor that comes in every year, same contractor, to refurbish the courts.
Thank you.
It's a two-part question. One, who's responsible for monitoring visibly intoxicated people and underage people being served Saturday night down at Harbor Town? And two, what's our liability if one of these people goes off-site and kills somebody on 278? Because you've got a problem.
Toby, you want to address how we work with the sheriff and...
You know, all the laughing and joking and it's fun about partying down here, that's great, till we kill somebody.
He brings up a valid point. We did have some underage kids. Now, through the investigation with the sheriff's office, we're unaware that they were actually served. Now, you know that kids can be very creative of how they get alcohol. We did have an incident Saturday night that he speaks of that involved local high school kids that were intoxicated. We are working with that. We do have an after-action meeting planned with the resort. CSA has no ownership of any of the clubs or any location that serves alcohol. There is a liability issue that I did speak with the bartenders, especially those that work the tournament, that come in temporarily, that works either a concession stand or whatever, the importance of checking IDs. So we were very hard on the concession stands this year. I think they did an outstanding job. I do know that they were tested during the week of the tournament as far as having the proper ID, but it is an issue. I will tell you, as I mentioned before, alcohol consumption problem is our number one during the RBC Heritage, and it extends afterwards. We had some issues. Beaufort County was hired to patrol Harbor Town after the tournament this year. I think you will see an increase in presence next year. I have talked with the sheriff about this at length. We had a lot of problems, and we're hoping through, and I'm speaking way ahead here, but I'm hoping that through our meetings with the resort that we can come up with another plan of what we're going to do for the tournament next year. Because what I hate to see, which was discussed between the sheriff and I, of bringing a jail van in. And I think that's a damn shame that we would have to bring a jail van in to lock people up because they're grossly intoxicated. But I can tell you, if we continue down the same path that we're doing, it's going to turn into a St. Patrick's Day after party as what we've dealt with for years. So we have some issues that we have to tackle, and it starts with the alcohol consumption. So I think next year you're going to see a completely different field of what's going to take place in and around Harbortown. And that's not what this community needs, is a jail van to be brought in to arrest people because they drank entirely way too much.
I will make one comment with regard to the resort. We did notice on Saturday, and basically there was two individuals that were highly intoxicated down there. And through our ownership and along with the resort, we are looking at how we continue doing some entertainment down in Harbortown. Maybe we change the hours, we make it a little less of the gala affair down there, but we are going to looking and talking to Toby about how do we make some changes down in Harbortown so that it does become a festive time, but not something to where people are overindulging. And so probably it's going to be reducing the hours, taking the bands to a different time frame, and so forth. So we're very aware of that, and our bartenders are highly trained on how to serve and the consumption levels that they need to serve the patrons. But like Toby said, some of these folks get alcohol that's beyond what we're providing as well.
Let me make one point, I hope that this didn't come off wrong. I'm not saying that this is not necessarily a Sea Pines Resort problem. We have the yacht basin, and as you well, if you had the opportunity to go down during the tournament, there wasn't but I think 2 slips that were actually vacant. So we have people from the outside that come into the yacht basin that drink off of a boat all day long, that venture onto the land, that end up causing problems. We dealt with that this year as well. So not all the consumption starts at a resort facility or at a concession stand on the golf course. It does come in from the outside, and it does come in through the yacht basin as well.
A couple of questions and observations. One is on picking up the permits and the stickers. It would be helpful, and maybe it's already changed since I've been there, if there was one line to pick up if you already have filled it in online, because it is frustrating to wait for the 10 minutes behind people who haven't done that. So if it could be 2 lines, that would be great, and maybe it already happened.
Okay. Toby, do you want to, you're doing the administration, so what do you?
I'm going to wear shoe leather out. I'm just going to stand right here. I will tell you, if you fill out the form online, it does drastically reduce the time frame. It really depends on just when you show up. I left there this morning. There was actually 2 people in line. Yesterday at 11 o'clock, we had 20 people in line. So if you fill it out, we're working that. We don't really only currently have 3 ladies that are fulfilling the requirements of issuing the decals and the ID cards. So we're working. I mean, we're going to issue at the end of the day 14,000 new decals that will go through our office. So we apologize for the wait, but it is 3 staff members that are tasked with doing this.
Thanks. 2 questions, but I'll let Toby sit down for one of them. About a year ago, the board talked about insurance for what it would cost if we had a major hurricane and whether we would self-insure or we would pay an insurance company. Has there been any other thoughts on that?
We've passed back in the fall, the board of directors passed a emergency reserve policy that basically describes all the sources of funds that we could access during an emergency or after an emergency. We also established a specific emergency fund. But that policy is actually posted on the website. It shows where those sources of funds come from. Some of those are insurance related. Some of those are a line of credit that we've established for our own funding. Some of those are the result of a covenant amendment some time ago about the possibility of an additional assessment. So there's a pile, if you will, of different sources of fund, and those sources of funds added up in the fall to about $23 million. And the general thought was that that's where you start, and if you get to something that's going to be anything more than that, you're going to the property owners anyway and talking about what those actions should be.
So I should look at the website a little more, a little more thoroughly.
Jennifer can show you how to get there.
That's right. I just have to get my wife to tell me the password.
Okay.
The last question has to do with Tower Beach again, and it's been frustrating that it's taken so long to get this gate to work. But my observation is that over 50% of the cars do not have the stickers that you're talking about. They're resort guests, daily parkers, etc. And while the guard will be there as of June 1, I would suggest that maybe you start on the weekends, especially with the long weekend coming up. These last 2 weekends have virtually no spots. There were commercial trucks that had the red sticker on it, that they are people bringing their families perhaps. So it is a problem, and even with even when the gate goes, the gate coming down will be good in that it'll protect you after 4 o'clock. The guard doesn't help after 4. And my other concern, and I'm not sure what the answer will be, but it's the landlords who will leave their own pass for tenants to use, and I guess that'll be a bridge we have to cross when we get there. But I wouldn't be surprised if we start to see 50% again not having stickers on their windshields. But that's a big frustration now, not being able to get in. And if you're saying that they have to have a sticker, it's less than 50% have stickers now.
I think Toby can speak to some of this, but just to let you know, you don't have to have a sticker to access that. You just have to be a property owner.
Right.
And there are a variety of different property owner types, like timeshare, that have access to that, and they don't have stickers. So they access it through a card. They show an ID card, and they have to do that for parking specifically.
But right now, there are cars in there. If it says resort guest, is that supposed to be in there or not in there?
No, that pass is not something that gets you into that. But there may be something else that they have if they are a guest of someone else.
Yeah, well, it's a big percentage who shouldn't be there, would be my observation over the last 2 years.
Understand.
Yeah.
And I think this is something that Toby and I have had a lot of conversations about, reestablishing a different policy. We got to see how this works anyway, and restricting beyond what we have today, which is certain times of the year, certain months of the year or dates of the year that we would just allow stickers parking in there, and that's it, and restrict the relative sticker as well as any other access point, and have some more restrictions in place, and another sticker for those timeshare folks to put on their dash so you could see that.
That'd be great. But again, if you could do something between now and June 1 on the weekends, that would be helpful.
We're going to use current security staff Friday through Sunday until we get our summer help established at Tower Beach. So you'll see starting this weekend, there will be security staff there checking people as you get in. Eventually this problem, because right now the gate is, the Tower Beach is pretty much wide open is what it has been in the past. This is the same problem that we experienced in the past because there's never been gate arms there. It has taken some time, as you well know. We went from issuing 5,000 hang tags for the tournament. We started in January of the commercial renewal decals. We went right into the 5,000 issued hang tags for the tournament, and now we're into a property owner. In order for the gate arms to work, the property owners have to have the new decals. So it's going to take us several months to the end of August to get the majority of these decals that are issued. But eventually, this problem should work itself out where the only way you're going to get into Tower Beach is through a property owner ID card or the decal on the windshield of the vehicle, of an approved vehicle.
Hi. I'm a frequent user of the beach, walk on the beach a lot. And about concurrently with the beach access walks that have been constructed at Tower Beach, there are a number of private homes that have put up new walks. They have rather obnoxious looking private property on them, and they have gates. And I'm wondering, I thought the beach and the dunes were public property. Does their property rights go out to the beach? And if not, how are they allowed to put these things up?
Two things. One, the past is they basically got an approval from the ARB to build a beach dunes crossing or a beach access area. A lot of those have been built. The property between the high water mark and the property line actually belongs to the Beach Trust. And we've been working on some issues related to the beach dunes walkovers and are developing a policy, have developed a policy. We are waiting on some ARB guidelines to help instruct what can be and what has to be built over those properties. The board of directors of the Beach Trust, which is a subset of the CSA board, has just recently approved that policy that is going to require an encroachment agreement for anybody who wants to build a beach walkover and access the beach. The Office of Coastal Resource Management, OCRM, through DHEC, the Department of Health and Environmental Control, also has regulations, and the town of Hilton Head Island has regulations on all of these. So all of those will be following those guidelines. In general, when you have an encroachment or you build a dunes access, those are required to be open to the public from the covenant. So those are things that you
And
can
I can tell you
report,
exactly where they are. They're
and we
right-
can inform those owners.
They're up and down from Tower Beach, and they're very obnoxious looking signs and gates, and they're really, I just find it offensive.
Yes.
So
And we are,
there's one just south of 13, and there's one north of the Tower Beach
okay,
gates.
okay. We'll go take a look at it.
Okay.
Thank you.
I can send you pictures.
That would be great, actually. That'd be great.
My question has to do with the canal behind Planters Wood Drive. We live down by the stables, and it is awful. It hasn't been cleaned since we've been here, and we've been here 5 years. Also, the tractors only come on the opposite side, the street side, Plantation Drive, and they'll come up to the canal, but they don't come on our side. Right behind the homes, not near the homes, but right on that access, there are all kinds of limbs that have fallen and everything. And also the water is quite high in that creek.
The water level or?
Yes,
okay,
the water
yes.
level. And I have called and left a message, and nobody's gotten back to us.
Okay, if you don't mind, if you'd stay after, and I'll get your information and
Okay.
get with Frank Nettles to
Yes.
address that.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, ma'am.
I am concerned about the Tower Beach decals. The covenant says participating property owners and their accompanied guest. So you always have to have a participating property owner there, correct?
Toby? You're administering this?
I told him.
A participating property owner.
Right.
If your kids were visiting,
You
And
have to go with the kids. That's the way I read the covenant.
that is not the way has been my understanding, that if you
Well-
didn't want to go to the beach with your kids.
Then you
and-
gave them your car or you do not give them children's decals, relative decals. Or you go with them.
The current policy allows that usage today. The covenant does state that it is property owner usage with accompanied guests or accompanied by.
So the
accompanied guests.
policy is contrary to the covenant.
It is certainly different than the covenant
Right.
that is stated.
Okay.
But, you know, Sue, just one thing, you know, we do not man Tower Beach 100% of the time.
I
But you
understand.
are absolutely correct,
I'm
yes.
just saying the covenant says participating property owner and accompanied guest. It does not say, I mean, you can have maybe for the relative decal, they're with their
Yes,
but you always have to have a participating
That is
property
correct.
owner. And that goes to the other gentleman that is concerned about people leaving their property owner ID card in their house, in their villa that they rent out. How are you going to control that? Good luck.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna be able to control that. We have stated, if you will check the website, that is something that I addressed on the website that says to tell property owners who rent their home, you don't get to leave your property owner ID card or your vehicle there for your guests to go down that's renting your property. That's not what that's for. One of the other issues that Brett and I have talked about, because we do not have full-time security at Tower Beach, is in addition to the cars that are not supposed to be there now, we have vacationers that ride their bikes down the beach and they stop at Tower Beach. We're not out there asking for IDs of all the property owners who are there on the property. For the most part, you could walk off the beach and walk right into Tower Beach because it's wide open. So we've got some issues that we have to address, but we do ask the property owners to please bring your ID card when you go to the beach. We're looking to put them on the lanyards. We're looking at several ways so that we can identify who the property owners are. But I will tell you right now, there's probably someone at Tower Beach that's not supposed to be there. So it's a huge problem that we're trying to figure out how we're going to police this.
Thank you.
Jerry Schroeder from South Beach Lane Property Owners Association. I've had a lot of experience with maintenance and the beautification. I'm very concerned because along both North Sea Pines Drive and Greenwood, along the road edging, the topsoil has broken away, and especially along North Sea Pines where the bike path is coming there. I saw a truck go off the edge and could easily have gone into a biker at the edge there on certain areas of North Sea Pines. It's both a safety issue and a maintenance issue because the edging of the roadway is going to break down if we don't keep maintaining topsoil along the edging. So I wonder if we could address that.
Jerry, we've been working with actually even re-described our current maintenance enhancement and projects committee. We are now in the process of first of all, we shared with that committee the actual things that we do today under our current budget. I think we all agree that they're not sufficient, and we have to change those things, and we're trying to identify the priorities, just as you mentioned, and we're working right now on establishing new standards for those roadways, especially the major roadways, the primary roadways as we describe them, from a maintenance perspective on the road itself, from the edges and into the tree lines and how things look. You'll be seeing in communications and through the survey that Jennifer and the communications that Jennifer has described, us soliciting for information from owners and input on what you think those priorities are. But we agree, and we are taking an action now to try to build a plan to get those things fixed. And that's certainly a high priority for the long-range strategic plan, as well as the staff, as well as the board of directors.
Good, Brett. I'm mostly concerned about the safety factor first with bicyclists and some cars running off that road and losing control. I certainly am secondarily concerned about the long-term maintenance and having to redo the roadways more readily because of breakdown, but the safety factor is first.
Yeah, and the Safety and Security Committee is tied into that as well.
Good.
And they're setting out their priorities on what areas need to be improved. We currently have several projects, roadway projects that we're doing a redesign at Fraser Circle, for example, and a couple of other areas to try to improve.
This shouldn't take a lot of topsoil, and I would appreciate just your addressing that issue.
Certainly. Thank you.
Thanks.
Other questions? If not, thank you very much. Have a great day.